Deposit the mafia! Help! Help! Guards! Hurry! Hurry! Help! Help! Deposit the mafia! Assassini! 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 Help! Help! Assassini! Deposit the mafia! Deposit the mafia! Deposit the mafia!
An unbelievable trendsetter in the video game industry, something that changed video games for years to come. Many games have utilized its gameplay mechanics and systems in their games ever since this game came to fruition. This game is the ultimate trendsetter of the gaming industry. You see, Assassin's Creed 2 has multiple mechanics and systems expanded upon from the mechanics and systems laid down in Assassin's Creed 1. Assassin's Creed 2 was able to take these mechanics and push them to its ultimate potential. There is so much content in this game, from courtesans to mercenaries to tons of different ways of tackling people and enemies and missions. You see, Assassin's Creed lets you tackle missions in multiple different ways, tons of different ways, and it gives you something that a lot of games do not give you in the modern era: choice. That's right, every decision you make, every choice you make in the gameplay system matters. Maybe I want to use a mercenary. Great, that will affect the gameplay greatly. Maybe I want to use courtesans to distract guards, use mercenaries to fight guards. Or maybe I want to go into the rooftops, or go to Leonardo da Vinci's war machines, or go to the Assassin's tombs, and take the parkour mechanics to its ultimate limit. And yes, in Assassin's Creed 2, they expand on the parkour mechanics and they push it to its ultimate potential by allowing you to go into the Assassin's tombs and the entire environment. You thought it was full in the first game? This game fills the environment with races, Leonardo da Vinci's missions, different kinds of mechanics, systems, mercenaries, courtesans, mercenary missions, courtesan missions, and just missions in general. This game's open world is so fleshed out with content. There is so much content in Assassin's Creed 2, it's fucking huge. Also, a combat system has been expanded upon. Now it's about the precise timing and execution of attack moves, and it also has been added to greatly. There are many more attacks, and you hit an attack much faster and much more quickly with more versatility and flexibility in its combat system, making the combat system much more fun, enjoyable, and actually, honestly, this is more refined than even the first game. Although the first game was more heavy and weightier, the second game has much more going on in its combat system, making it more fun and flexible for other people to play. So this game has so much content, so much fleshing it out. Its combat system is intense, incredible. Is an intense and incredible system. Might not be as brutal or realistic as the first game, but it's still expanded upon extremely well, giving it much more of its own potential. The amount of choice that you have in this game, in terms of mechanics, in terms of weapons, is outstanding. As you actually have a weapon wheel. With this weapon wheel, you have multiple weapons that you can choose from. Knives to the hidden blade to multiple different weapons from the codex pages. Yes, you can collect codex pages and you can decipher them, and Leonardo da Vinci deciphers them, and when he does this, you can get brand new weapons that you never would have had. You can use this to your advantage. The combat system requires precise timing and execution. You see, the combat system is extremely precise and fluid. It feels extremely good and has much more attack moves and patterns than even that of the first game, making it stand out even from the original, meaning they took the potential of the combat design further. Man, these executions are excellent. This gameplay mechanics feel so good, and some enemies can actually pose a threat if you're not being stealthy, so stealth is your greatest ally, as if multiple guards show up, well, they still pose a threat. This is incredible, as the game pushes you to utilize stealth to your biggest advantage, having multiple tools and options to be stealthy and lethal as possible. With this incredible combat system and its stealth mechanics, the combination creates a unique gameplay loop that people would later utilize for even their games to come. In the combat system of Assassin's Creed 2, there are multiple attack moves, finishers, and counters. You see, this game expands upon its combat system by having you utilize multiple animations, attack moves in order to defeat. Some of them can counter these attacks. However, when you utilize a lot of these different attacks, you'll notice that there's so much more into the combat system than ever before, giving it a level of flexibility and freedom you would not see even in Assassin's Creed 1. Because of Leonardo da Vinci in the codex page, pages still has been given a whole new layer. You see, with these codex pages, you now have multiple tools and options that were never available in the first Assassin's Creed to utilize stealth to your advantage. You see, stealth is the key in Assassin's Creed, and Assassin's Creed gives you every tool and option. You can easily access a lot of these different tools and options in the menu scheme. So groundbreaking for its time, as it gives you so much choice and versatility as to how to complete these missions. These missions require stealth, parkour on rooftops, staying undetected, remaining in the shadows, staying hidden. Over a long period of time, you see Ezio go from a young angsty teen to a man full of experiences and life journeys. Ezio goes through a journey like no other that'll change the very fabric of his character and his world. This rises Ezio into being one of the greatest video game characters of all time, even competing with other characters and stories. His story is an iconic one, told with precision, depth, and major character development. Ezio turns into a seasoned man with incredible experiences beyond the exterior. A living and breathing world full to the brim with people, places that are more alive than ever before. You can renovate properties. No, yes, you can actually do that shit. Holy fuck, that's innovative. You can hire different groups of people. I know I might have mentioned this before, but guys, this is so ahead of its time. The fact that you could hire different courtesans to distract guards, hire mercenaries to kill guards or thieves to help you on the rooftops, is impeccable. Free roaming in this world is alive, it breathes. There are people everywhere, and they all interact in different ways, depending on what you do. The parkour has so much mechanical depth, it's scary. I mean, it's like they use motion capture for a real person doing these things. How can a game have this much content? How could Ezio be this compelling of a character to where the open world matches what he would do and who he is as a character? All of it matches. These are things you could see and picture Ezio actually doing. The combat animations are unbelievably satisfying, with not only mechanical depth, but more attack moves and techniques than ever before, adding to the original combat model, taking it to more of its own potential, having incredible animations behind counters and attacks. So much content, this open world has a shit ton of things to do, and you can roam around without doing a single mission, and there's still stuff to do by the time you find a mission. An assassination contract, mercenary missions, courtesan missions, thief missions, side activities, races, assassin's tombs. Holy fuck, those tombs are really something. They are complex, fleshed out, and test the parkour mechanics to its ultimate potential. This is some groundbreaking parkour mechanics. This is some groundbreaking gameplay design in these assassin's tombs, and much more. More is the word, because its open world is much larger and more alive and filled with way more content and features than Assassin's Creed 1. That brilliant game laid down the foundation for the amount of depth the series would later iterate. Don't get me wrong, AC1 is a brilliant marvel, and thanks to that game, look at where it led. This huge, vast world full to the brim with content and features like never before. You can renovate properties, do all kinds of missions and races, and even free roam without doing missions. And you can still find shit to do. God damn. This is video game innovation. This is Assassin's Creed 2. Oh man, Jesper Kuiper, it's an honor to even be alive to hear your relic of music. Composers like you make being alive inspiring, especially when you're alive listening to such relic of musicianal history. This is some of the best music I've ever heard in my life. It's somber, powerful, emotionally penetrative, and profound musicianal composition. Holy shit, Jesper Kuiper, you really know what you're doing. You can also collect items and relics, and you are rewarded for it. For instance, if you collect all feathers for Ezio's mom, she'll actually speak again, as something happens in-game that I don't want to spoil that prevents her from speaking. You can also collect paintings and many items in the game. Ezio can also open up properties for thieves, courtesans, or mercenaries. You can meet some really compelling characters. Some were real people in history, and Ezio interacts with them from the shadows, like Niccolò Machiavelli or Leonardo da Vinci. It's amazing. They feel like a realistic depiction of how they must have been. Over time, you gain notoriety when you mess around with the game's world. Guards start to take notice, and there's different ways to handle this. One is bribing. The other is ripping off wanted posters. There's different ways to do this. Man, that's really innovative. You have to go around tearing down wanted posters. That just gives you more stuff to do, and there's actual incentive. No spoilers, but you see Ezio's entire life, his entire family, and you feel the things that he goes through, the struggles of his character. He develops over a really long time, and to see this is impeccable. You can poison people, throw money, use smoke bombs, use an actual hidden gun device by Altair, recreated by Leonardo da Vinci. You can throw money to distract guards, use a sword and knife, and the throwing knives are back and better than ever before. You can kill multiple people with them. In Assassin's Creed, it asks one question: how do you want to play? Want to go all out or stay undetected? Assassin's Creed lets you do this. Its missions are fleshed out, and when you go on Assassin's contracts, you have this choice. You can go in undetected or you can go all out. Assassin's contracts, you have this choice. You can go in undetected or you can go all out. Blending into the environment is an aspect of the mechanics of Assassin's Creed, known as social stealth. In Assassin's Creed 2, the social stealth is on a whole new level. You can not only hide in spots, but blend into crowds even if a guard is chasing you. Unless they fully see you, you can actually escape. The pedestrians are really funny. They always have incredible dialogue and even goofy moments.
Help! Assassini!
Yet they're alive and loyal to their country. Their language sounds just like how they actually sounded in that time and era. That's incredible attention to detail. Back when Assassin's Creed was loyal to the country they would take place in, they sounded Italian. They actually sounded the way they're depicted in history. This is incredible attention to detail. The civilians' reactions to things is really unexpected. They can do some unexpected and even goofy things. Assassin's Creed 2 is one of the single greatest video games of all time, and it set the ultimate trends that would lead to the standard of Ubisoft and many other games. This was an evolution from what was laid down years ago with Prince of Persia. Look at how it evolved. Look at the level of realism, the mechanical depth, the combat system, the open world environment, the amount of stuff to do. Assassin's Creed 2 is a masterpiece.